Hey folks, hi, this is Gigi. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to Gigi Unfiltered. We're going to be dropping some money. We got a quote for you too. Let's see what we've got going on here. Been a busy week. Gigi didn't get to do her mid-week drop, so we're going to be dropping it all here today, okay? How's that? Hope you don't mind, because, Gigi still likes to chat with you folks. So I hope you're all doing well. Been a crazy week. I don't want to get too much into it, because I just don't want to get too much into it. How's that? Okay, so let's see. Went to the gym today. That was good. Went and saw Reggie. Oh man, I was gonna go Thursday to Zumba, but Gigi smashed her toe. Sounded like a good excuse as any. So anyway, let's go ahead and drop some money here.
We're getting ready.
We've been, have I really been out of the house? Yeah, me. Oh, okay. There's a whole story here. So let me go ahead and count the money first. Okay, all right. Okay, folks. Let's see if I got this right here. So here's 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 125. Yes, I want to give you folks an update to 125. Let's write down what I'm doing here. And also bad being that, we don't get paid till next week. That is a very good number, 125. Yes, I want to give you folks an update to 125. Let's write down what I'm doing here. And also what Gigi saw this week. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's go ahead. So we're going to drop some money here. We're going to do 10 here. Hope you folks can see up there. And today, I want to tell you what I was drinking today, because it starts getting to September, October, starts cooling off, like 100. And Gigi be liking a coffee drink today. So I'm just having a mocha, homemade mocha. I did my mom a pumpkin spice today, because I know she likes me pumpkin spicy. But I prefer mocha. So I just came home, got ready, and made me a homemade mocha. Nothing in it. It's not leaded. It's just mocha. And I like it that way. All right. So let's go ahead and drop 10 in here. All right, go ahead and put that in there. So, let me tell you what me and BigDog been doing and what I saw, and I was like, oh my God. First of all, I think most people know Gigi's a car gal. Yeah, in her younger days, she had a Camaro. In fact, Gary, my first husband, he had a Camaro Super Sport. I think it was like a 68 or 65 he rebuilt. Took the engine out, did all kinds of work on that thing. Him and my son. My son was little when he had it, but he'd have him out there in the garage, be changing oil, doing whatever he thought my son could help him with. So, and then I had a Firebird with a T-top, of course, because that was the closest thing to a convertible I've ever had. I've always wanted a convertible. So, and then probably about 10 years ago, it was right before I think my daughter graduated from high school. Oh, man, it's been longer than that. No, probably 2000. She graduated 2007. No, we were in. She graduated 2000. So it's probably in 2009, 2010. Yeah, when the Challengers came out with that retro design, Gigi had to go get herself one. Black on black, all chromed out. Loved it. Hemi 6-speed manual transmission. That was vroom vroom, baby, vroom vroom. That's all Gigi had to hear. What is Luna doing? Are you just if you just lay down there, that's okay. I tell you this dog, all of a sudden she wants to be underneath here. All right. So let's go ahead. I know I want to drop some money here. I think I wanted to do 25 because Christmas be a coming. So anyway, recently we had to take the truck in to be serviced. It stopped on BigDog. He was glad he was able to get home. And it turns out that I think it had to do with the radiator because it's hooked up to the transmission somehow. Anyway, ended up costing us a couple $1,000. And the thing is, I knew 2 years ago when we put more money into the truck that we were probably going to have to put more money into the truck a couple years from then, which is now, which is what happened. And at that time, I probably should have said, you know what, let me just go get a job for about a year. Let's see, save up money for the car, right? That's kind of what I was thinking. But did I do that? No. I did start saving money though. Did I put my $25 in here? I don't think so. No. So I told him, look, I'm not getting a job yet. I'm starting to look, but no, I got too much stuff going on right now. Too much family stuff going on. I've already committed myself to things, so no, I'm not doing it. That's a whole other story. I'm not going to get into that right now. But anyway, I told him, I go, but let's at least go see what they got out there. Because it's been a long time since me and BigDog bought a vehicle. The last one we bought was a Honda. That's when I graduated. That's when I retired from the funeral home. Let's go ahead and put $10 in here. And so that was 2019. So what, 5, 6, 7 years ago? 6 years ago. So let's put 10 in here. I kind of wanted to see what the stickers were because I didn't want to be too shocked. They weren't that bad. Because basically it's going to be his vehicle. He's not sure if he wants a truck or he wants, let's put $10 in here, a truck or a SUV. So we've been out looking. They're going, this is what I always like to try to buy. I try to get a newer car, that's under warranty. And I've been very fortunate with either, sometimes I could get it with 2 or 3 years warranty, which is great. Because you're saving a lot of money when you're able to do that. So that's my hopes that, we'll be able to find one like that. So anyway, we've been to a couple of dealers, Nissan. Yeah, Nissan. He went to the Subaru when he took my mom's car to be serviced. What else? Chevy. We went to Chevy because I wanted to see the Blazers, but now I'm hearing all kinds of stuff about recalls on Chevys and so on. Okay, let's get real quick here. So it says 30 days, but Gigi ain't going to be making it 30 days. But there's always seems to be 3 things we kind of get checked up at the house during the beginning, like the first 3 months of the year. So I want to start getting a heads up on it. And what we do, we get the AC check, which we didn't get this check this year. Get the AC check. The soft water system always gets checked. And we have to pay for emergency service out here. And it seems to be going up. Last year it ran about almost $500. So I want to start, and that's in April. So I want to start saving money for that. So let's go ahead and drop money in here. So this way, I already know it's coming. Just be prepared, Gigi. So anyway, we were already on our way home. And let me go ahead and color this in. Let's use this color. Let's use this blue. And he says, why don't we go look at the Dodges? Okay, because he wanted to look at the Dodge Ram and the Durango. We walked up there. And both of us are car people. He's a car guy and I'm a car gal. I walked up there and there's a frickin' 2025 all white, which is, I'm surprised. I usually don't like white cars. I like black cars, silver cars, red cars, but not so much white. But this was a white Charger, because they redesigned it to look like the old school Challengers. And I cannot tell you, I think it was just the lighting, because the way the sun hit it, it was just sitting out there, and I was just like, oh, I almost heard her like, oh. I love cars. I'm a car gal. And then the guy says it's an EV. Well, Gigi don't be liking EVs because, Gigi likes to hear her cars. So, okay, we were going to go back now and put some money in our Smile Money account and talk about that too. Oh, come on. Give me some smiles. Okay, whatever. Really? son. So let me finish my story here before I start talking about the teeth. So, so when the guy said it was an EV, Zach, really nice guy. Turns out he's from Minnesota as well. So it must be a Midwestern thing, that I seem to pick up on. He was a really nice guy, young guy. So then I go, it's EV? No, because I like to hear my car. So he goes, oh, you'll hear it. Okay, Zach. So he gets in there, he goes, get in there. I go, So then I go, let me hear it. Because, come on. Apparently what Dodge has done has given sound to EV cars. I sound like a freaking jet. I could not believe it. And I told Bruce, oh, Bruce. I told him I can't drive this car. I can't drive this car, Big Dog. I'm scared. And I told the guy I'm not driving the car. So then he goes, sit in it. Start it up. So, okay, Gigi gets in. She starts it up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get this car. I got to get this car. So then I try to rev it, right? And I'm not hearing nothing. There's nothing going on. So I go, how come I'm not hearing vroom vroom? He goes, oh, you got to be in the sports mode. Oh. I go, and where's that at? Because you push this little button right here that says sport. Oh, okay. Okay, Captain Obvious. So he went ahead and hit it. I hit the gas. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, it sounds like a freaking jet. It's like 797 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. I told Bruce, I go, if I drove that car, I was afraid I'm going to walk off the lot with it, or drive off the lot with it. So the Gigi's brain is going, okay, how am I going to be able to get that car? Stop the madness. We're not supposed to be doing that right now. But there's a picture of it. For car people, it's a gorgeous car. So apparently, let's see, 15 in here. The Dodge were one of the first ones to start putting sound because they knew people like to hear the sound of the vehicles. And I'm thinking, especially when it's a sports car, you want to hear vroom vroom. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think this is a fairly new year that they've had the EVs like this. I could be wrong. So, because I know we're looking to get into the car, but that's not going to happen until next year. So maybe they've gone all their kicks out. By the time Gigi gets ready to get one of these. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and drop money here, but it's a gorgeous car. If anybody has one, anybody's, because I didn't drive it, I was afraid to drive it. Oh, big deal. I can't drive that thing. I'm afraid of. And of course, Zach's just thinking this is all so funny. But the Durangos and the Ram trucks are very, very nice. Anyway, so that was my story. The car. Okay, so Big Dog went to the dentist this week. He had to have some work on. I told him, if you're able to get the impressions done, just go ahead and get the impressions done. We'll just figure it out. So of course he did the impressions, and he ended up giving them 1,000. What's that? 1,079? Yeah, 1,079 is what he ended up paying at that time. So I said, okay, and we had the money, so he took care of it. So then he came home with a payoff, for the work that they've been doing, and it's like $1,500. I go, I don't think that's right. So I called the gal over there, Alexis, because they've been having some type of turnover at the dentist's office. Don't know what that's about. I like the guy. I like the team that we've been working with. They've been great. So I don't know. Anyway, so I talked to Alexis, and I told her, who I was, why I was calling. And I go, I'm tracking these numbers, and I want to make sure I have this covered. I go, but I like your number better, but I'm thinking that's not the right number. And then she goes, well, we have to... Look, Alexis, you don't have to... Tell you what, just go ahead and go back, look at the numbers, because I'd rather they be right than me being surprised later on. Because Gigi don't like surprises. So anyway, she called me back and she said, yes, there's been some changes. Okay. And it ends up like our total number, once we pay off everything, and because now we're doing the bottoms. I had planned for doing the bottoms so soon. So now we're doing the bottoms, or his bottom plate. So, and he got the precious for that. So it's like $2,500. I said, $2,500? I think I'm okay with that. So after we did all the numbers, this is what we're short, $963. And I feel pretty good about that number. And that means that they're all paid for. We didn't have to use any kind of credit, because they said, well, we got credit. No. I don't want to. I want to. This was my goal, to pay this off. And yeah, so all we need to save really is, I'm still going to save this, because this total doesn't even include this number here, because I just started this. But $973, folks. I mean, $963 is what we're short. And this is an over $5,000 challenge, and over $5,000 that I've been saving. So, and really since the beginning of the year. Let's see here. When did I think January 16th of this year. So I think that's pretty darn good. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and let's see how much money I have left to throw in here. Here's 40, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So let's see what we can put in here. 60, do we have 60? We have 54. Let's do 54. Remember we were going to do this top one? Because remember the boo-boo I made? These are all 50s. So let's go ahead and put, we do have 50, 56. So 40, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Let's just go put it all in. Yeah, 59. So I was like, we're doing it. So I went into a BigDog. We're doing it, BigDog. We're doing it. So that's great. And like I said, the number that I have out of this envelope is not including this, because I wanted to make sure we were not short. So we were doing 59. Go ahead and color that in. So that's great. That's so exciting. Got a busy week coming up. My Luna gets her shots. Her second. See this. We would have had Luna a whole year on September 26th. That's when we brought her home. That's when we brought my baby home. My little Luna. So I put that in there. So let's get my new total. So, and she has been, you know how they say, dogs find their humans? Yeah, I think they find a human. I just didn't know that we were going to get such a needy dog. So, 59 today. She's so funny. But we've had dogs in the past. Of course, we had our beloved Jet. But that was BigDog's dog. And then when I had my kids, me and their dad, when we were first married, my mom had a litter of toy poodles. I think that was, because it was a small poodle, but I don't know what happened to Dana. I think some other dog came in, because she didn't look like her mama, nor did she look like her brother. Yeah, I think it was another male. And what was Georgette, and I can't remember the other dog's name. And now I'm trying to remember whether or not it was a male or female. I mean, this is like 30 years ago we had this dog. So but that dog really became my daughter's dog, my kids' dogs. They kind of grew up with her because she passed. We had her quite a few years, probably 13 years. We had her before we had kids, and my boy was probably about 12 or 13 when she passed. So she was up there, but she was really a smart dog. She looked like more of a Shih Tzu than a poodle, but smart as a whip dog, so smart. But I wish I was a better dog owner with her. Jet taught me how to be a better dog owner, and Luna's gaining the benefits. Well, you know what Angela says, you know better, you do better. So, but oh my God, sometimes she's just so needy. But that's okay. I love her anyway. She's a good pup. Okay, 1596. All right. All right. That's what we have in here right now. So let's see. Let me add up all. Let me make sure. 4189 plus, because I was just doing the. What we take out, because I like to show what we actually saved. So 4189, which is what we started with up here, and then I had to take out this money, and I added this money that, and we're putting out 59, 42, 48, 42, 48. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. All right. Very good, Gigi. We're doing it. We're killing it. We're killing it. So anyway, so I was pleased to really see how well the teeth are coming along, because you know what we got next? Prime days. Yes, we're gonna have to do Prime Day. Okay. Let me ask anybody. Does anybody know about McBid? Picture of it up there. Get this out of the way. So apparently McBid is, to me it's almost like eBay, but you can go see what's going on. You can see the product. You can touch it. You can mess with it. You can do whatever you want with it. Well, within reason. And then you bid on it. How did we come up? Oh, I think my daughter-in-law, Katie, who's back east, she does this all the time. It was something new to me. And me and BigDog went down there to check it out. It's a very interesting place. They have all kinds of stuff there. I haven't really gotten anything there, but you really have to take your time to look to see what's there. So it's really kind of interesting. So if anybody, tell me what your thoughts are about McBid. I'll put the website there. There's one out here in Mesa. And I'm just curious as to what your thoughts are. You know, do you like it? Do you use it a lot or what? So anyway, so we did that, and like I said, the other thing I've been looking for. Okay, I'm sorry, this is just off track, but I'm curious if anybody's finding this too. Every once in a while, Gigi gets a hankering for onion bagels. I cannot find onion bagels. In fact, we went to Einstein Bagels. We used to go to Einstein Bagels in California. Me and BigDog get up on a weekend, a Saturday and Sunday. You used to get the paper. We didn't get the paper at that time. We get some coffee, and I get an onion bagel with the cream cheese and all that stuff. They don't have no onion bagels. They're not in the store. And then I asked the gal there, and she says, well, certain stores carry it. Are you kidding me? That used to be like a staple. What's that about? Why are they not selling onion bagels? Okay, anyway. Let's go ahead and go to the quote. That's all Gigi has for today. So, let's go talk about the quote. Just for the record, darling, not all positive change feels positive in the beginning. It's true. Change is hard. But no matter how old you are, change is hard. Even when it's something that you're looking forward to, sometimes it can be hard. Because it's something new, it's something different, you're not sure, is this the right move, should I be doing this? But you gotta do it. That's what keeps all those neurons, your brain cells awake and alert and moving and excited about things. You know, you have to continue to try new things and not be afraid. Even if you're 67 or 70 or 87, don't be afraid. You know, this Mike guy that I was listening to, he said he had a 5-year plan. The man was in his 80s. He had a 5-year plan. And there's nothing wrong with that. Good for him. Because you know what? He's out there. He's doing it. He's making something happen. Sometimes I go golfing with some of these ladies in the lady group I'm in. I'll be golfing again when it starts to cool down a little bit more. And I'm thinking they're well in their 80s, and they may be a little bit slow, and maybe they can't walk as quick as. But you know what? They're out there, and I give them credit for that. Because they're not just sitting on the couch, they're doing something, they're moving, and they're out there, you know. And don't like I've said before, do not let your age determine the size of your dream. Like Mike says, you know, old Mike says, if you ain't dead, you're not done. You know? If you're still here, you can do something. You know, it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a YouTube channel. That
just something. Just something to get your brain going. I think as we get older, we have to move. Going to Zumba, I'm not crazy about going to Zumba, but I know I gotta move. Went to Reggie's class today. Oh, I felt it in my arms, but I know I gotta move. You know, my knees don't always appreciate it, but I know I gotta move. You got to keep moving. Don't let your age stop you from doing whatever you think you want to do. You know, I was telling my mom, hey mom, do you want to go on a girl trip? You know, go to Paris or go to Italy, and the possibilities are endless as to what you want to do. So don't let anything, your age, even your circumstances are temporary. I've had situations where there were hard circumstances, but it's not forever. Everything changes. There's always a change, and sometimes we can accelerate that change by something that we do, by movement we make. So what is it if your circumstances are hard and you know you need to make a change? How are you going to make that happen? Because now that's on you. And if it doesn't change, that's on you. So, and those, oh, because, no, don't give anybody else your power. You can change, and it's okay. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Because the thing is, if you're doing what's right for you, everybody else will see that. Everybody else will feel that. They'll know that. People might get hurt, but let me tell you, if they really care about you, they'll get over it. Because you know why? They want the best thing for you. That's it. They really do. One of the things I wanted to talk about today that I had mentioned previously was about how I started this YouTube channel. Now, people are familiar with, you know, Gigi on a budget. I'm still Gigi and I'm still on a budget. But I actually had a channel well before that I started when we first moved out here to Arizona, which was probably about, 2014. So we've been out, we're going on 11 years. In fact, it was 11 years in, I think this month, because we moved out here, I think around Labor Day. But anyway, when we moved out here, I was taking a digital arts class because, you know, Gigi's always going to school. And they wanted us to create a website, a blog, with pictures and whatever, a blog. And I've always liked to write and well, of course, I love photography and videography. So that was like, wow, I can get into this. So what I created was a blog for BigDog on the Road, which was about BigDog. But really, to me, it was going to be about me and him. I didn't know what I was actually creating at the time. I just knew there was a project that I needed to do for school, and I called it BigDog on the Road. And what came out of that was SoCal Gal and BigDog YouTube channel. And what I started doing is when me and BigDog would do our travels, I would go ahead and create a video, and I would upload it on this channel. And because to me, because we're a blended family, we have 5 kids between us, it was a way to show the kids, both BigDog and I come from long marriages. His marriage was, I think, 23 years. Mine was almost 23 years. So over 20-year marriages that we were in, that we had these, our kids. And so it wasn't divorce is not easy for kids. And when I got my divorce, my daughter was 15. So my boy, he was in school, so he was like 19, 20. But he wasn't even at home. He was away from home. He was in San Diego or La Jolla at that time. And to me, at any age, divorce is not easy because BigDog's kids are about 10 years older than my kids. So anyway, I wanted, primarily for my kids, because I knew what they had gone through and I knew it wasn't easy for them. And I wanted them to know the mom's okay and it'll be okay. We're going to get through this, and it does get better. And the way I did that was by showing them our travels and what we were doing. I enjoyed it. I found that I really liked doing that. And part of that, I think, is because I didn't realize till later on that I guess I like to tell stories. And so that's how all this YouTube stuff came about. It wasn't about, like, the Aruba going to a destination wedding. That's not where it started. It started well before that. And The other channel I created before this channel was when my Charlie, my baby girl, was born, but she's back east. And I wanted a way to be able to stay connected with her because she was so far away. So when she was little, I mean a baby, I was doing recordings on the phone. I would leave little, voice notes, whatever, and I would ask my son to play them for her, which I know he did. And then as she got older, I started Gigi. That's when I started reading Dr. Seuss books to her. So to me, it was a way to stay connected with her, for her to see who her Gigi was, what Gigi did, so she could see who her papa was, what her papa liked to do. And to me, it was just an important way because I don't want to visit my grandgirl. Well, I guess it is my granddaughter, my grandgirl, my grandgirls. I don't want to visit them and them not know who I was. That I didn't want to do that. So to me it was important. At least they knew what I looked like. So they said, "Well, she looks familiar," and at least they could hear my voice. And so I was uploading probably when she was a baby, probably about once a week. Dr. Seuss books, really quite often. And then as she got older, because now my girl's 7. Yeah, I think she turned 7. Okay, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, but I'm thinking she's 7, and because now she's in the first grade. Oh my gosh, 2019 is when she was born. So 19, 25, 20, okay, she's 6. Okay, she's a big girl. So anyway, when I just lost my train of thought. Start counting. Hold on. So now that she's gotten older, I primarily upload them for special occasions, like I do a Valentine's one. When she went back to school, I did one. Halloween, I do one. Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the holidays, I kind of do one for her. Because I've got all these other ones that are up there, and now that I've got my 2 other baby girls, Alex and Theo, I tell my daughter, show them to her. Even though they're using Charlie's name, they can still hear the story. Show them to her. So she started doing that. In fact, she sent me a picture of my Alex or my Morgan looking at one of my clips. Oh, I love it when my kids do that. When they send me clips of my girls watching me on TV, because it's nice to know that they're doing that. It's nice to know that the babies are watching them. So anyway, so I started that channel. So then, because this is my 3rd channel here. So then, when Big Dog's son said he was going to have a destination wedding, I knew we were going to go. I just didn't know how. And at that time, my mom had mentioned about cash stuffing, and I said, so there was something that was already in the back of my mind. So I looked more into that, and I am so glad that I started the cash stuffing. But as I was doing the cash stuffing, I found that I would be talking. Because Gigi likes to talk.
We know.
And I would start just little stories of the week, or what I found interesting, or what happened the day, what happened the week. I would share, what was going on with my mom, because, my dad had dementia. He passed a little over a year ago. The process of going through that. So there's just whatever's happening that Gigi finds of interest, that maybe somebody might find interesting out there, is kind of what I shared. But the quote and whatever wisdom I felt, sometimes think, because I see all these channels now that are saying, you should start a YouTube channel over 60. You should start a YouTube channel over 80. In fact, there's one guy, he's like 80, I think he's like 85, 83. Mike's his name. And if you ain't dead, you're not done. That's his quote.
Really?
But he's right in a sense. So even though this beginning was full of possibilities. I didn't go through like, yeah. I was excited about doing it, but also nervous. And I think that's what this quote is talking about. That new beginnings, you're not going to feel all of that yet. There's going to be some hard stuff you got to go through anytime there's a change, anytime there's new beginnings. There is sometimes some hard stuff that's attached to that. But you can't let that stop you. Because now that I'm 68, so let's see, I retired. Let's see. So I've been doing this since I probably, 6, because I had to have started doing it once I retired. Yeah, because I'm thinking she's 9, so I was probably 62, 61 when I started my YouTube channels. Maybe late 50s, because I started the SoCal Gal and BigDog, and there were no grandbabies, and I was still working, and I was just doing, some travel stuff. So probably when I was probably 58. So I've been doing this. Wow, it's going on 10 years. I've been doing some type of YouTube channel. Oh my gosh, I think we've been doing it that long. But one of the channels I was listening to, because they said, why are you doing this YouTube channel when you're over 70, when you're over 80, whatever? And they said, why are you doing a YouTube channel? Well, I knew I was doing a YouTube channel. But one of the reasons they threw out there, which I found was interesting, they called it, is it a legacy channel? And I was like, what? A legacy channel? And it said, is it when your kids and your grandchildren, when we're no longer here, that it's a way for you to speak to them? And I thought, wow, that's pretty good. Because sometimes I think when I'm recording, especially about, empowerment or motivational or situations that we're in life, and some of our struggles, trials, and tribulations, like I like to call them in life, I would like to think that maybe there's something I'm saying to my girl, and maybe in that regard, it is a way of talking to my grandbabies, because, I'm 68, my babies are babies. And for them to know this was Gigi's thought process when you were in the situation. You don't have to go that way. You don't have to go the way everybody else is going. It's okay to be different. And maybe part of that is a legacy, because who knows how long YouTube's going to be here. Who knows how long Gigi's channel is going to be still in YouTube land when Gigi's no longer here. Well, hopefully it's not going to be for a long, long time. I'll still be here. But the reality is, life happens. So I thought sometimes I do feel on some of my episodes that the chats I've had primarily, is that I feel like I am speaking to my girls, and for them to, you're gonna be okay. It's not that it might be hard, but you'll be okay. You can get through it. Resilience, with faith, continuing movement. You just gotta keep moving forward, but you'll be okay. So sometimes maybe they are letters. Maybe I don't like to say legacy, because I'm not. God, I hope my legacy isn't just a YouTube channel to my kids.
Sorry, guys.
But I just thought that was interesting, because apparently people really are doing that. I hope if you have something you feel you need to say, and I think especially as we get older, I think we do have more to say, but sometimes we hesitate, and I don't think we should. I think this is when we should be the loudest, because our young people need to hear some of our wisdom, because our hopes is you don't make the same mistakes that we have made, and that we can kind of provide some insight as to maybe you shouldn't do that. But I also understand people have to learn on their own. I get that. But if I can just give you a little morsel to help a little bit, I think that's what I like to be able to do if I'm able to. It's like sometimes when I say my daughter, I talk a lot with my daughter. I text my kids every day. Every morning my kids get a text from me. It's a morning text, morning, whatever. I've been doing this ever since I moved to Arizona, because to me it was a way for them to know, Mom's always thinking about you. Your mom is always here. This is so. The kids nowadays are so funny. they said that I would rather I hear their voice and talk to them. Where if I text, they respond right away. If I call, they don't necessarily respond. They'll FaceTime. I usually FaceTime my daughter maybe once, twice a month. And that's like a session. It's like an hour and a half. And that's great. I love it. Because sometimes she shares the babies. The babies are still up and they're cool, making all the little noise. And my son, he'll do it once in a while. But not. I'm more in contact with my girl. I think it's just mother-daughter thing. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. I love my boy. It's just different relationship. Mother-son, just different. But he'll text me right away. If I need anything, right away. He's on it, But, where was Gigi going with that? I can't remember.
You remember where you were going.
But I think, so let's get back to the quote. Because then maybe that will help Gigi remember what she was saying. So, let me get that quote again, okay? Not all positive change feels positive in the beginning. It doesn't. So don't let that stop you from whatever you feel you need to do. Okay? All right, folks, I think that's it for today. So let me do a closing here. So I guess in regards to YouTube channels, if you're over 60, if you're over 70, if you're 80, it may be something new in the beginning, and it may not feel, positive in the beginning. But don't let that stop you from, if you really want to do it, go ahead and do it. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. Just get your camera, get your phone, just get ready, just start talking. Because really, you have a lot more to offer than you really believe that you do. Don't doubt yourself. Okay? And one more thing in closing. We had 9/11 yesterday. And then we had the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I just wanted, whatever your political beliefs are, because this is a safe space, no hate. But the fact is, you don't have to agree with him. I didn't agree with everything he said or did. What I did enjoy watching him is prove me wrong when he would have debate on college campuses. I just loved watching the interchange of young people and their ideas, because he was a young guy. And it's unfortunate, that this has happened to him, his babies, 2 little kids, and his wife and his family. So prayers out to them, and let's be good to each other. All right. Until next week, folks. Tits up. Have a good one. See you next week.
We're getting ready. Getting ready at the dance floor. So turn the lights on. You know just what we're here for.